Yeah, boy.
What's going on, guys? Today we are talking about the really cool mini-bosses or unique enemies Outward has to offer. Specifically, we will be taking a look at the ones from Chersonese, the first region you start in. Some of these were either modified or just completely added to the game with the release of Definitive Edition, and one or two of them can be quite the challenge. The Troglodyte Archmage can be located in Blister Burrow just above Cierzo. This is often one of the first caves people can enter and clear out, making it a nice place for a weaker mini-boss. This special Trog deals a bit of ethereal and physical damage, making him take quite a chunk of your health if he hits you. However, most Trogs are extremely weak to lightning, making him a lot less challenging if you have a lightning rag. He casts out floating balls of magic that decrease your stats, and then he can buff up his fellow Trogs, giving them much more damage and impact resistance. Try to whittle down the Trog forces before engaging, and then block his attacks as you stagger him. Super cool looking Trog that certainly makes this simple dungeon much more fun to clear out. He will unfortunately not respawn after area reset, letting you kill him only once per character. After making your way through one of the paths to the Conflux Mountain, you will walk across a bridge to the ley line where you can receive mana. There's a small path leading off to the side right before you enter the large room, and it leads down into this dark area with water about 1 or 2 feet high. The Glacial Tuanosaur guards this area, and he can be quite the tough nut to crack. I always like to bring it back up to the large room with the ley line, giving you much more room to fight. He's very, very weak to fire, which makes Flamethrower deal with him pretty quickly. However, he has really fast attacks and will place bleed on you, sometimes after only 2 hits. Be sure to watch out for his Ice Blast as well, since it has a large radius. Burning and bleeding can be placed on this guy, negating his health regen and letting you kite him around until death. Also remember that he can attack 4 times in succession, giving you a nice window of attack if you block until then. Do not try to poison this guy, as he's immune to that. He will not respawn after killing him. However, a regular Tuanosaur will instead after area reset. Just don't underestimate this guy. Tuanosaurs are beasts. Mad Captain's Bones is located inside Pirate's Hideout and is literally the only enemy in this cave. It's located on the mountain you face immediately after leaving Vendavel. Walk up to where a bridge leads you to the Conflux Mountain and take a right. You'll eventually find your way down to a small tower. He's very resistant to impact and completely immune to decay damage. However, his weakness is ethereal, fire, and lightning damage by about negative 50%, making him 2 times easier if you use any of those elements. Try to lead him away from the small area he starts in, and then just attack after he stops his combos. He's immune to bleeding and poison, so just use Throw Lantern if he gives you any trouble. Mad Captain's Bones also does not respawn. Next up, we have the Rusted Enforcer, and we just need to go through Ghost Pass to find him. He can be seen just on the other side of the gate upon entering this dungeon. You will also find ethereal varnishes here that we need to kill the ghosts, and also the mini-boss himself. Use one of the varnishes to run through the dungeon, either killing the ghosts or avoiding them entirely. After going up the elevator, you will pull a lever to get inside one gate. A red ghost guards the lever we need to pull for fighting the Enforcer, so deal with him first. Apparently, this golem and the ghost will not attack each other, as I tried for quite some time to get them to and almost got myself killed. Finish off the red ghost and then deal with the golem. This enemy is almost exactly the same as any other golem you will run across, except that he will poison you if you get hit too many times. He's immune to burning, poison, and bleeding, making him a challenge unless you use an ethereal varnish. He's very weak to this type of damage, but I also recommend you use a few traps as it knocks him down way quicker, letting you do more damage at the beginning of the fight. Dodging is sometimes better to avoid his attacks, as the impact golems have is quite high. After defeating the Rusted Enforcer, he also will not respawn. For the Ghost of Vanasse, you will need a Gaberry wine. If you get through Ghost Pass and don't have one, simply head to the mansion's cellar in this area, as it has a couple in there. Take this wine over to the gravestone on the far left side of the graveyard. Interact with the stone, and you will get 3 options. Drinking the wine gives you a Sour Stone, pouring the wine will just waste the wine, and coating your weapon with the wine will release the Ghost of Vanasse. He drops a Sour Stone upon death, and will be just like any other ghost, although probably one of the weakest mini-bosses, as he only has 75 health. This ghost does not respawn, and only 1 Sour Stone can be obtained from him. Don't try to drink the wine if you want to fight him, because you won't be able to. There's a dungeon known as the Corrupted Tombs that's right next to the gravestone we just killed that last ghost at. Simply enter, and you will immediately run into the Accursed Wendigo. He's actually part of a quest dealing with Vendaval, but killing him before the quest only speeds up the process, so don't worry about losing that option. This guy's not too bad as an enemy because he's very weak to fire, letting you just throw lanterns at him for an easy kill. However, Definitive Edition added a lot of changes to this guy, and you might actually find him a bit challenging now. He is only resistant to decay and cold, but he inflicts chill, extreme bleeding, dispirited, Mika fever, and all this while building up corruption on each hit. He will also be quite annoying to fight as an arcane elemental guards him. Those things are freaking snipers. Be careful with this guy as he is nothing to scoff at. This Wendigo does not respawn, but I'm unsure if a regular one will spawn in his place. I don't think so, but check the comments as someone down there may know more about that. Finally, we have the Golden Matriarch, and this is easily the hardest mini-boss in Chersonese. He can be found in the Voltaic Hatchery, which is near the entrance to Enmerker Forest. You will have to deal with multiple lightning golems before reaching him, which are already a challenge. He has quite a bit of health regen and tons of impact resistance. Seriously, knocking this guy back takes some incredible effort, and he's only weak to decay. Luckily, the Troglodyte Archmage does drop a decay varnish, so make sure not to waste that. Bleed and poison do not work here, but burning does. So maybe try to use fire to counteract his health regen as you try to melee him. Avoiding damage is difficult against this shiny bug, as his melee attacks deal lightning AoE that is hard to avoid. I recommend traps here for support, and definitely fire. I found it to be quite challenging on some of my later game builds, so take your time before you attempt this battle. It seems that he always drops an elemental light particle though, which makes him a prime target for enchanting. Now, one odd thing about this enemy is that according to the official Outward wiki, he does not respawn. However, myself and quite a few other players have managed to defeat him, and he was there again after the 7-day reset. Not sure if this is a bug or what, but just be aware that he may not respawn in the future if he currently is for you. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, all the mini-bosses Outward has to offer in the Chersonese region alone. Some are very challenging, while others are merely there for some extra fun. Either way, you should definitely try to defeat these enemies at some point, as they can let you see your build's strengths and weaknesses, while also letting you have a ton of fun. Consider leaving a like if you found this video interesting, and let me know which of these guys is your favorite. I personally love the Troglodyte Archmage, as he looks really cool. Thanks for watching the video, and I will catch you in the next one.